What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? It's Dan here from Cryonoir, and it's Sunday, so that means it's time for another DevLog.
Woo! You got a day Wednesday, baby!
What have we been up to this week? Let me think. Well, there's been quite a few things going on. Josh has built an array for all of the weapons. He's imported all the weapons. They're all now stored in an array with all the different attributes, and then depending on which one you pick up gives you the weapon attributes and the sprite and all that kind of stuff. We now have a shotgun, an AR-15, a grenade launcher type thing. We have the big weird laser missile gun, the regular laser gun, and I think that's it so far. Yeah, I think that's it. There's still a laser pistol to go in. Now, none of these are all actually sort of set and finalized. All of the balancing is still way off. So that now, like, the grenade launcher is pretty much useless. But the machine gun is, or the AR-15, sorry, is exceedingly overpowered. So that all needs sorting out and fixing. We may try and change some of the sprites for the projectiles and things like that. But there's still a lot of work to do there. But they're in there now and they're working, and you can swap between them and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of balancing work that needs to be done just to get it playing right, basically. But that's all fine. This week I have, what have I done? I've done things. Yeah, of course I have. I must have done things. I've been here. The first thing I did was the stomping on head mechanic was far too overpowered. Basically, it was a case of, every time you jumped on someone, it killed them. It was easier to do that than it was to shoot them with the weapons. So effectively, people would just use that mechanic all the way through and then save up all their ammunition and then trade that in for what is eventually going to be the sort of the end point, shall we say. So I needed to wind that in a little bit, so I've done that. I've made it basically so that it just does a sort of a nominal amount of damage, so now it takes a lot of stomping on something to kill it. So that's fine, that's all in there as well. Again, needs to be balanced, but we won't know this until we've got more enemies in there and things like that we can then start working on sort of balancing issues and stuff. But again, this will all come with playtesting later down the line. And then what else have I done? Yes, I've been working on the wall jump mechanic. It was a very basic one initially that we put in there. It allowed the player to just jump endlessly up the wall, basically, so they could just keep going and they could just constantly wall jump all the way up. And we wanted to sort of change that and get it, sort of different, shall we say. So what I've done is I've now got it set up so that when you do a wall jump, it pushes away from the wall. So this took a couple of tries to get it right and get it working. The best thing is that, like, now when you slide down a wall, you'll see that it's like dust particles firing out the back as well, which look really cool. So I got that sorted, and there is a separate sprite. It's currently not finished because I just basically coloured his face in red so I could see that the sprite had changed, so it was blatantly obvious during playtesting. And again, I don't really know whether I'm going to alter the sprite there or not. I don't know, we'll have to see. So yeah, now he jumps off the wall, but that initially didn't work perfectly either. It does make it good so that you can now jump from wall to wall to wall to wall to wall. That worked perfectly fine sort of the first time, but then you could still ramp up the wall, which was not really ideal. So I spent a lot of time changing that and tweaking it and coming up with better solutions for it. We've now got it so that it works perfectly fine, but it's slightly right. Basically, there's two different ways in which it can affect the double jump. The initial one is that if you do a wall jump, you can't double jump after the wall jump. So you can double jump into a wall and then wall jump off it to go back in the other direction, but then you can't double jump again, which works perfectly fine, and that makes the wall jump work really well. It does, however, cause issues where if you want to scale a vertical wall that's sort of double jump height, like just as you would do normally. So you've got a wall like that, and you just want to kind of double jump up there and then get onto the top, which is like a perfectly normal thing. You would do that all the time. But what would happen is, if you were too close to that wall, because the double jump is just jump, basically, and so is the wall jump, to kind of simplify it. What would often happen is you would jump up once, and then because you were so close to the wall, it would think you wanted to wall jump, so it would then fire you away from the direction that you wanted to go and potentially into peril. It would be quite frustrating for players. So we've got sort of potentially two ways of fixing that. We either make it so that to do a wall jump, you have to press jump and push away from the wall, like, you know, hold the control, you know, push the direction away. Or what we can do is we can just include a double jump after the wall jump. That way, that if that does happen, players can then double jump back to where they want to be. That works really, really well, and it means that players can save themselves if something goes wrong. It does, however, now mean that we're back to the same problem, as that they can now wall jump endlessly up a wall. It's harder than it was before, it's a lot harder than it was before, but you can still do that. Now, the main reason why we got rid of that mechanic, or we wanted rid of that idea, well, basically we wanted it so you could wall jump from wall to wall to wall to wall, like, you know, like up a chimney. We wanted that to work, and that works perfectly fine, but obviously that then comes with ways in which it can be used outside of that. And we didn't really want the levels to feel enclosed, we wanted them to feel more open. So yeah, so that's kind of causing us a problem there. So I don't know how we're going to resolve that. I think we're going to do some more playtesting and sort of decide one way or the other, and then level design accordingly. I've also done a lot more work on the lava levels background layer. I'm really pleased with how that's coming along now. Doing that kind of pixel art is my favourite kind of pixel art, kind of big scenes and stuff. I really enjoy doing that, rather than kind of like little objects or animations and things. I much prefer doing larger scenes, and I think it's starting to look really, really good.
My art has been commended as being strongly vaginal, which bothers some men. The word itself makes some men uncomfortable. Vagina.
Anyway, I've put in about 9 hours into that now in total, 9 or 10 hours, and I've got 2 columns on either side, and I've got all of the top row done. The bottom row is not going to take too long, I don't think, because it's less detailed, because most of it's going to be hidden by blocks anyway. So I'll just I'll sort of smash that out fairly quickly, and then after that I then need to really jump into the centerpiece as well. So there's still lots and lots to do. I reckon I've still got probably another sort of 30 hours to go on that one, but you know, step by step, working your way through it. So that's it. It's been a very busy week. There's not going to be a devlog for a week or two now, so don't unsubscribe and don't not watch the videos that do go up. I have 2 videos already lined up, already gone, done all the filming for them, and they're really good videos, and they're going to be going up over the next week and next week, 2 weeks. You know what I mean. So today's Sunday, next Sunday there'll be another video going up, next Sunday there'll be another video going up, and then when I get back, it'll be back into the regular routine. So there'll be plenty of stuff for you to watch, and you should check them out. They're going to be really good videos. I think you'll enjoy them. So yeah, so that's all good, all good. Lots of work being done, lots of stuff happening, moving forward, as I always like to say, which is good. So yeah. It's sort of cripplingly worrying about sort of how much there is still to do. I was talking to Gemma about it the other day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's really starting to look on. I mean, you've got to be well over halfway there." And I'm like, "No, no, not at all. We've got like the mechanics in place, and you know, we've done an awful lot of work building the actual game, as it were. Now we just need to actually populate it, and that's going to take loads of time. So you know, we're talking." I mean, you know, each background layer is going to take, you know, sort of 30 hours to do, 30, 40 hours maybe to do each one, and I'm going to have to do one of those for every single world, and currently we now have about 4 or 5 worlds, so you know, they're going to take, you know, that's an awful lot of time to do that, and we need more worlds as well, so that's more tile sets, more background layers, more, just so much to do, and then we've got all the UI, menus, other gubbins. So yeah, still a long way to go, but we're getting there, I've had a lot of problems recently with Game Maker 2 as well, so I think when I get back I'm going to have to delete it and do a fresh install. You'll notice some of the footage is quite choppy, and that's just Game Maker. That's just Game Maker. just crapping itself basically, and just not running very well at all. So I don't really know what that's all about. And I've also got, because it's not affecting Josh's like build of the game, and I've also got a problem where if we go into full screen mode when playing, and then I exit full screen mode, it then just completely locks up and freezes. So yeah, so I don't really know about that either. So I've got to sort of possibly do a reinstall, a fresh install of GM2. Hopefully that fixes those issues. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this devlog, and I will see you very, very soon. You will see me in the videos because you're going to watch them definitely. But I will be back actually doing devlogs again in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button and everything. If you're not new to the channel, you should still be liking it, and share it around. And thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.